Hi everyone, welcome to Module 3. This is about connecting to your joy and reconnecting back to what is naturally yours. In this module, we'll be reconnecting back to what brings you natural joy. So what thoughts and feelings bring you the most amount of joy? What are your desires? And this is a really fun, exciting part of this module, to work out what you actually really love doing. And lesson 3.3 involves looking at the offerings of joy to yourself. So these are these rituals that we are building to ever increase the thinking and the feeling brain, as well as your connection to your heart, so that you are establishing this neural network between both these regions to keep connecting you back to your joy. And the fourth lesson is tuning in to the intuition of your brain and your heart in coherence with each other, and having a listen to what it is that you really want to do to connect to your joy. I can't wait for you to do these last two sections. And if anyone has not seen the first module, please look at the first module, because it really explains the brain and the heart connection and is vital for you to really get the most out of this module. So, what thoughts or feelings bring you the most amount of joy? I don't know if I mentioned this before, but having a little journal, which you call your happiness journal, is a really, really fun way of connecting to your joy. I have a little pocket-sized happiness journal module, a happiness journal, which I use to record anything and everything that brings me joy, from being in a wonderful landscape like this, to having a lovely warm hot chocolate, or just listening to beautiful music, to listening to the amazing sounds of nature. Having a look at what thoughts and feelings and activities bring you the most joy can stimulate your brain and your heart to connecting back to that joy. Another really easy way of working out what thoughts and feelings bring you joy is looking at a photo album, or creating a photo album which has all the photographs of what brings you joy. And it might just help to remind you of what brings you joy. Putting images on your phone or your phone album, that can actually help remind you each time about what brings you joy when you look at it. So the point of those two activities, or the point of working out what thoughts or feelings bring you the most joy, is to have a look at whether there's a similarity in the type of experiences or connections that really open up your heart to connecting to your joy. And you'll start to notice certain patterns might emerge. So for instance, for me, I've noticed that one of the biggest patterns is my connection to nature and how that truly connects me to joy. I started recording this video inside a home, and I found that everything just felt a little bit stilted, whereas when I've been recording it out here, out in nature, and I've got little birds flying around me and these beautiful, beautiful trees and rock that I'm sitting on, it just inspires me to connect to my joy while I'm making this video for you. The other thing to look at is what areas have you grown in the last few years. Because it helps you connect back to that feeling of joy inside of you yet again. So for instance, if you look at how you were eating maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and how now when you are eating food, you really take joy and satisfaction in what you eat, then that in itself is a progression in terms of how you are connecting to your joy. Other things might be, you might notice that everyday tasks that bored you before, you are now able to find a deeper sense of joy and connection when you're connecting to it. And that might be another insight into how you can more deeply connect to your joy. So have a look at the areas of your life, and these may include your own self, your family, your friends, your work, hobbies, any areas that are important to you, have a look at what specific parts of these areas in your life you have grown in your joy. Because the more you start to collate these experiences, the more your thinking brain is engaging in those moments of joy. And then it also triggers the feeling brain to start feeling those connections to your joy. And then as you do that, you actually drop back into your heart and re-experiencing that joy. And before you know it, you've got this massive coherence occurring between the brain and the heart. And remembering coherence is just the synchronization between the brain and the heart to try and connect you to your joy. This next lovely section is a section that's so delicious because it looks at your desires and your happiness. So what is it that you desire the most? I'd like you to take your journal and just pause this video and spend a minute or so to work out what it is that you truly desire. When I ask this question, people often say, I don't really know what I want, or it seems too impossible to dream. And if you took a magic wand and imagined that you didn't have to work out all the hows and the whys and the whens and all of that, if you had a magic wand and you could say, yep, this is what I would love to do with the least amount of effort, what would that thing be? What would that experience be that you are searching for? And if that were to come true, what is the feeling that you are looking for if that desire was to be fulfilled? And how can you gift that feeling to yourself now? So for instance, if I was looking for myself to live in this beautiful, beautiful home, and I didn't particularly live in that home just yet, I could think, well, if I was living in that home, how would I feel? And I might feel really peaceful, contented, and joyful. So the next question to ask myself is, how can I gift that feeling to myself now? So as I gift that feeling of peacefulness and joyfulness to myself right now in my everyday tasks, how would I be as that person? So, for instance, if I was washing a dish and I wanted to experience that feeling of feeling peaceful and joyful as if I was living in this beautiful home, I might then go, right, I am feeling peaceful, I'm feeling joyful, and I would drop into my heart center as I have illustrated in the previous module, and I would breathe into it and then recall a moment when I did last feel joyful and drop into that space of gratitude. And as I did that, I would then truly start to embody that feeling of gratitude and really try and increase that intensity to about 9 or 10 out of 10. And in that moment where I'm in that state of feeling joyful and peaceful, I may actually start to notice other things. I may notice how soothing the sound of the running water is. I may notice the bench top, which has beautiful colors. I may recall another memory that brings me great joy and makes me smile. And I might notice my whole being moving into this space of stillness and being present in the given moment while I'm carrying out the action of washing the dish. And suddenly, the mundane is transformed into this rich, beautiful, joyful moment. And in that moment, I'm already feeling really joyful and peaceful. And in that state of brain and heart coherence, because I'm now thinking and feeling joyful feelings, as well as my heart is feeling expanded in that space of gratitude, then I become more open to even seeing more of that which brings me joy and peace. And so I don't have to wait for that moment for that desire to be fulfilled, but I'm then becoming in a state that is synchronized to even draw those experiences to me. So you then become what it is that you desire to feel at the end of it all. So I just want to ask you one question. If you loved yourself completely and fully, would you gift that feeling to yourself now? Or would you stay in a state of dissatisfaction, focusing on what you didn't have? I think I would pick the former rather than the latter, because I would be wanting to gift that feeling of joy and peace and happiness to myself all the time, without fail, all the time. And in that way, I start to truly connect to my joy, and I also get to express what my desires are without an attachment to it actually coming true. So now I would like you to write down 3 gratitude sentences of anything that you are genuinely, truly grateful for. And you want to make this as personal as possible. Something that makes you smile from the inside out, or at least lift your spirits up a little bit when you think about this thing or activity or person or place or event or connection that you are especially grateful for. And try and get a little bit detailed about it when you write it down. Because the more genuinely grateful you feel, the more your feeling brain is activated with this gratitude. And then that increases the gratitude you feel in your heart, and it puts you back in coherence with your brain and your heart. And also see how you would like to connect with nature today. Breathe in deeply, in and out through your heart, so that you are connecting back in with your heart when you do this exercise. I'll give you a minute. In this next exercise, based on your gratitude that you felt and all the thoughts and feelings of your own desires, what action or way of being can you gift to yourself today and for the next 21 days to stay connected to your joy? Again, connect to your heart so that you can work out which way feels the most natural for you to do this. So breathe in and out. Start connecting to your desire of how you would love to feel. Say the sentence to yourself. And now ask yourself, what single action or way of being would you like to show up for yourself, no matter what's happening, no matter what person, place, or thing or event you come across? How would you love to show up for yourself to stay connected to your joy? And now we're going to move deeper into this, into the next lesson. So now that you have decided how you would love to show up for yourself and what action you would like to take, I'd like you to keep putting your hand on your heart. Take some beautiful deep breaths in and out. Tune into that feeling that you want to create. That feeling that connects you the most to your joy. See if you can increase the intensity of that feeling to about a 9 or 10 out of 10 by perhaps recalling a moment in time that you felt that way. Recalling everything that was happening in that moment, from what you saw to what you heard, to what you felt and smelt. And now see what images or sounds or feelings are coming to you through your intuition to guide you as to what you should be doing, either today or the next few days. And thank your brain and your heart for guiding you in such a simple and beautiful way to connect you to the joy that has always been inside of you.